it just made Johnny madder. He got more upset, grabbed the phone, and started screaming at Io. He just started screaming at the top of his lungs, said, you don't know what you're talking, just screaming expletives, insulting names, and telling Io that he can have me, and, and just screaming at him. That's best I can describe it without getting into the details. He tosses the phone, down on the couch and heads upstairs. I pick up the phone and try to, apologize for the fact that my husband at the time just screamed at my friend on a cold call. I didn't want Io to think that's why I had called Io, to just be screamed at and blamed for something that sounded crazy. For lack of a better explanation, it sounded crazy. Io said something to me on speakerphone, and reminded me I wasn't safe.
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay.
Your Honor, it's not offered to prove the truth of the matter. It's to show what caused Mr. Depp to be set off and come back. I mean, it's not offered to prove the truth of what he's saying. It's not hearsay.
I'll overrule the objection. Go ahead.
Thank you. Please tell us what Io said and what then happened with Mr. Depp.
Io said, Amber, get out of the house. Get out of the house now. You're not safe. Get out of that house. Io had been there after the cleanup, or for the cleanup after December 15th, 2015 incident, and
Objection,
had
Your
washed
Honor,
blood out of my
non-responsive.
pillowcases.
All right.
I think she can provide the context.
I'll sustain the objection. Next question.
Okay. So please continue.
Johnny hears this when he's on the stairs. He made it up one flight of stairs, heard this, turned around, came bolting down the stairs, grabbed the phone from my hand, and really started screaming this time, lit into Io, called Io every imaginable horrible name that you can say to a LGBTQIA person, for one, and any person, any human being ever. I mean, just screamed at Io some really nasty stuff. And when he was done, he says, you want to have my woman now. You want to have my. You take her, you can have her. And he, with that, just pulls his arm back with the phone and throws it at my face. Hit me right in it felt like my eye. I put my head in my hands and immediately start crying. I said, you hit me with the phone. Johnny, you hit me. And I'm sitting on the couch. I didn't even have time to react, I didn't even have time to put my hands up. I was still sitting cross-legged in my socks on the couch, and I haven't seen him for a month. And several times now that I've seen him, he's hit me, and I didn't even have time to react to this. He comes over to me as I'm crying, and he does that taunting thing to me. He says, oh, yeah, I hit you, huh? I hit you, yeah? And he just feels like whacks me on top of my head. Just this heavy, ringed hand landed on top of my skull, grabs me by the hair, yanks me up off the couch. I'm struggling to stand up. And I don't know if he was intending to hit me in the face or if he was just trying to grab my face, but he was making this gesture around my face to try to expose my face to him. And he was like, yeah, let me see how bad I hurt you. Let me see it. Let me see how bad I hurt you this time. What if I pull your hair back? What if I pull your hair back? And he yanks my hair back. I'm trying to prevent him from landing the blows to my face. I'm trying to prevent my face from being exposed. And I just remember this mocking taunt he was doing with me as he is yanking me around the room. And then I hear my friend come into the room. I hear her. Johnny hears her too. He lets go of me and turns. And
Just tell the jury who your friend is.
Raquel, my best friend at the time, who lived in the neighboring apartment, she came in, and Johnny moved towards her, and she ran towards me. Johnny looked at her, looked at me. I retreated to the only place I had to go, which is the corner room where the couch was. I retreated kind of to the couch, and Raquel and Johnny both ran up to me. Raquel got in front of Johnny. She kind of managed to get right in front of him, in between he and I. And I'll never forget it, just very slowly, calm, in just a very slow but very concentrated, very controlled, slow way, just put both of her arms, her hands up like this, and like I've seen people do with horses. That's what it reminded me of. She just went, "No, no, Johnny, no." And she just got in front of us, in between us, put both of her palms out. Johnny kind of squared off to her, ran into her arms, and she just repeated herself very slowly,